Hi guys, once again this is Alfred from BinaryOptionsTutor.com, and today I'm gonna do this video on this is I don't know what I'm gonna call this video, but I'll probably call it how to turn a losing trade into a winning trade. And in order to make this video, I put on a counter trend trade. This is the Aussie USD, and you can see red's on the bottom, blue's on the top. We're just moving up, up, and I got into a trade here, and when I got in, that was the 30-day. Statistically, that was the 30-day largest swing up. That was probably close to 2-year highs, and you can see the my master trend was way up here. My crosswalk was green, but it was near the top. So and we had seen these yellow iterations here, and still kept going up. Although we did get that pullback there. So I jumped in, just looking at price action, looking at order flow via price action. All of these candles here going down, and then we pushed through them with one candle. So I got into that trade, and it looks pretty good, doesn't it? But then I moved the chart over just a little bit, and you can see the market just moved against me. And move the chart over some more, and all of these are 4-hour candles now. This is a forex trade, and the market's just moving against me. And now the market's finally turning around in my favor, maybe about to hit my take profit. But all of these being 4-hour candles, you can see it took me quite a while. It's been days that I've actually been in this trade. So okay, but what's the magic? How do you turn a losing trade into a winning trade? Well, for one thing, I'm a firm believer that if you're going to be in a longer term trade, you need to be trading with the trend, with the flow of the market. And you can see in the price action just higher highs and higher highs, and here I am trying to pick my supposed top here. I had a lot of statistical reasons for picking that top, but you can see that the market just continued to trend against me for days, and I didn't really feel good about this trade till I saw that giant wick, that giant move up there, and then we had a good wick off of it, and I was saying, okay, now we're getting to a place where we may finally be turning around with the sentiment and getting back into reasonable prices here on the Aussie USD currency pair. And even still, after that week, it took me another 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. This is about 24 hours, about another day. So what I'm getting at here is the trend really is your friend, because what really started to make this trade challenging is I was trying to pick a top, and if you're going to try and pick a top or a bottom longer term, it's going to be more difficult for you to do that. Can you do it? I'm showing you a trade here where I'm going to get out of this trade with some profit regardless, but the reality is there's way more money to be made by trading with the trend than there is trading against the trend. Even if I would have picked the perfect top here, is there a bigger distance between this wick's top and this, or even this wick's top and this, or this wick's top and way back here? being in a trade with the trend and experiencing very little pain. So, uh, first, try and remember, no matter how much something looks like it's in your favor statistically, if I'm going to trade contrary to the trend, it's just going to be a short-term move. Getting in there and maybe, getting out again at break even, or a little profit maybe within the same 4-hour candle would have probably been a better move, because then I would have freed up that capital. But counter trend long term, a lot more challenging. So that's rule number one. And rule number two, with turning a winning trade, turning a losing trade into a winning trade, is to be patient and let the market do its thing, and let that trade turn around in your favor. There are a lot of videos up here, and you can see me trading around a lot of different ideas. Sometimes I'm talking about pivots. I'm always talking about price action. I have indicators, some of which are proprietary and custom. I don't even release them uh, to the public, or I haven't yet. But all of that aside, when you really, is we say in the South, where the rubber meets the road, um, every winning strategy is basically the same. And in that, what I mean is, you buy something at a price, and you sell it at a place that's profitable to you. Now, everything else is just a journey. It's the notes in the song, but the song is still the same. So, lots of times in forex, I notice because a lot of guys get turned off by it, and I struggle with this a lot myself. Initially, especially, I was terrible, because I came from an environment where it was rush, and I was used to doing counter trend trading, and not looking at bigger time frames and getting involved in the larger trends, where I can really have more of the banks and fundamentals on my side, because the banks and fundamentals, when you move to the larger time frames, they're all going to be factored in. And I just face the challenge of holding that puppy, and having what some people call a stronger hand, and understanding that the counterparty is going to try and knock you out of the trade. So you have to plan for the best and plan for the worst. And from here to here, the trade was probably about 90 pips against me. So I had to plan for the best and plan for the worst. Well, how do you get around that? Again, it's using your leverage. Lots of problems that I see people have in forex is simply that same overnight success mentality, whereas you think you want to make profits fast, and guys out here will sell you on the idea that leverage, that's where it's at, but really, when you think about the trade, you don't want to be over leveraged, so that you can withstand those 90 pip moves against you, or 100 pip moves against you, and you can wait and be patient for the market to turn around in your favor, and you can turn that losing trade into a winning trade. But again, always first things first. If you're going to do forex using bigger charts, trading as best you can with the trend that's in the market. The trend is not hid. Trends are easy to spot because they're right there, and they're if I were to go out with some bell bottoms on, I would certainly be outside of the trend of what's going on today, and I'd be easy to spot, because I would be outside of the trend. If I had a giant cell phone like the cell phone I was initially given, I'd be outside of the trend. If I got a iPhone or whatever the latest Android phone is, then it's very easy to spot because I'm with the trend. If it's loaded up with a bunch of apps and I'm tapping on it everywhere, I'm with the trend. And the same thing applies to trading. The trend is not hard to spot. You just have to get onto larger time frames and try and trade with that trend. Avoid those temptations to pick those highs, those statistical highs. This is a 2-year high. Market still moved 100 pips against me. Well, why do you hear people talking about trading highs, Alfred? Well, trading lows? You know, they're out there. Of course they are, because when you're in a trade like this and you want to get out, there has to be someone that's willing to help you get out by making that other side of that trade by constantly buying, thinking that you're buying at the top. All of these guys thought they were buying at the top. I'm showing you about 2 days of guys thinking they were buying at the top, and it continued to move against them just like it continued to move against me. Another reason I wanted to do this video is because, again, sometimes friendly guys write me and they'll say, well, Alfred, I look at a lot of videos on your channel, you don't show a losing trade. I don't show a losing trade because I don't focus on a losing trade. Of course I lose trades. I mean, you know, we were very close. I may have had to eat it on this trade. If it would have went a little further and that sentiment hit me, then I would eat it. You know, the trade wasn't going to blow my account either way. But I don't focus on losing trades. If you're going to trade, you're going to have to understand that there are going to be losing trades and there are going to be winning trades, and you just want there to be more winners than there are losers. That's the main thing. And of course, I'm showing you this trade. This trade was a losing trade, but the moral is that a losing trade can turn into a winning trade, because at the end of the day, losing trade or winning trade, the reality is all trades are won the same way, and that's by selling at a place that is profitable to you relative to your entry. Involved in a trade, the plus of trading forex and trading other stuff outside of short-term binary options is that you do have that time on your side rather than against you, and you can use that time on your side and find your way back to a place where the trade can be profitable. That's all for now, guys. Again, if you found this video helpful, I realize it's outside of the scope of binary options, but one thing I'm going to mention right now is that going forward, don't be surprised if you see a lot of videos, hopefully well received, but outside of just the scope of binary options. I want to talk about other instruments, and I've wanted to for a long time talk about things like financial literacy and just little simple ideas that probably can help you, well, that I found helped me to manage things financially better. That's all for now, guys. See you guys on the next video. Once again, like, share, comment, subscribe. If we've helped you, please help us by sharing this content with others.